What's up, everyone? My name is Jesse. This is the Auditorium. I react to video game music for the first time, and today is pretty sure it's a debut. This is Gundam Wing Endless Duel. We're going to be listening to Spaceship and Airport, and these are both from the channel Rane011, requested by Dart over on Patreon. Thank you. I don't know if I've heard Gundam Wing before. I don't know how much Gundam latest stuff I've done at all, and I'm going to be very honest here. I don't know anything about like mechs or anything. When I think of the word mech, I automatically think of Gundam. So please let my noob self know, is Gundam I'm guessing it's a series, like an anime, because you know what I mean. Like there's so many media things when I think of Gundam. Like, where was the origin of Gundam? That's my question. Is it a cartoon? Is it a character? Is it, whatever? I seriously don't know. I just know it involves mechs. Okay. Not to not embarrass myself any further, we're gonna listen to Spaceship first, and this seems to be on the SNES, maybe NES. I'll look it up in a second. Don't know who the composer is. This is Spaceship from Gundam Wing Endless Duel. It also goes by Shinkudu Senki Gundam Wing. 1996. Hiroyuki Iwatsuki. Ooh, that bass. Super Famicom. So this game never made it out here to the West? Probably did. Oh. Notice Gundam Wing is spelled as one word here. The song is busy. Synth bass. It's pretty badass. It's like a little metal. It's a little, yeah, kind of power metalish. It's very superhero. The hi-hat is such an interesting choice. I do like that though, that the bass or the drums kick in after a little bit. Damn. What else did this guy compose? Two composers. Haruo Ohashi and Hiroyuki. Alright, I'm looking at this, that was awesome. I'm looking at the games they've composed. See if I recognize any of them. Seems to be a lot of Nintendo stuff, almost exclusively. Chaos World, Spanky's Quest, Ninja Gaiden Shadow, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, did the sound effects. Pocky and Rocky. I haven't heard of pretty much any of these. A lot of Power Ranger stuff. Which is funny because when I said it sounds like very superhero, that's exactly what I was thinking is Power Rangers. So that works out. And then here it was the Gundam. Power Rangers and Gundam, it seems to be his thing. Mobile Suit Gundam, Mega 5. Yeah, just a lot of, yeah, okay. Yeah, I haven't really heard of much of this stuff, but, you know, it's funny, going into Gundam, this video, I was thinking about it. I always like to think right before I click play, I think for like 30 seconds or something, like, you know, have I heard of it? I don't know, you know, like what? And Gundam is always one of those things that has always kind of made me feel like I know nothing of like just this whole, I just know it's a thing. I don't know how else to explain it. It's just, it feels like a subculture. There we go. That's probably the better word, maybe. Like mechs, and I kind of, in my head, I just associate them all together. So you have like your Armored Core, Gundam, whatever else. That's really all I can think of at the moment. And I just know it's like a big deal. It's like, but it's like, it seems to fuse like anime and games together, like the both live together like quite harmoniously. Kind of like Dragon Ball. Like Dragon Ball's a bunch of games, and yet the anime is still strong. I don't know. Like obviously, if you can tell, I don't know anything. I just know they're mechs, and I guess the story must be pretty good in these, because in my head, I just always thought it was like kind of like a third-person shooter kind of series. But I think it, by telling how many years they've been doing this and how long it's been around, I just feel like they perfected it or something. There's something that's obviously capturing the audience for decades. And when I mean earlier, when I said like a Gundam, I think of it as kind of like a whole. I kind of think of it as like, what's that? Man, I can't think today. What's that? That camera company? Kodak? Is it Kodak? Well, anyway, I'm just using it as an example. Like when you think of cameras, sometimes you might just think of like Kodak or like Polaroid or something like that, not knowing it's just like one brand out of the whole thing. That's kind of what I think of like Gundam. I don't know if Gundam is a title. I don't know if it's a, I'm guessing it's a series. I don't know if there's any notable characters from it. I guess that's one of the reasons it's confusing for me, because I don't know, like every series has like their iconic character or their lead character. I don't know what, if Gundam has one. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to like say too much without just, I'm bearing myself, because I really have no idea. They look cool. I just never experienced them. And apparently this came out, I'm guessing this was more popular in Japan and then came over here. Or something like that, I don't know. Spaceship? Well, I mean, yeah, I guess I can hear that. That was very technical. The whole time I was hearing that, my musician brain was going off. Like there was a lot of musical aspects to it that sounded very difficult. Like a lot of the riffs going on were pretty difficult. Like like there was a lot of scales, a lot of quick technical things that they just kind of threw in there. I think probably the easiest sounding stuff was like the hi-hat, just. But yeah, like everything was like really tight and impressive for that reason. I actually forgot the name of the song title as I was hearing. I'm like, oh yeah, it's a spaceship. But I just have a feeling that a lot of the songs are probably like in this energy, you know? So I'm kind of curious. I'm really excited to see like what the series has to offer. But as of right now, I'm so new to this kind of world that it's gonna be very confusing for me. There's also another Super Robot Wars, another game I do here. That's another reason I'm like getting confused. Like, is that related, or is that something else, or is that inspired from? Basically, tell me whatever you want about Gundam and Wing Endless Duel if you've experienced it. But we move on to the second song, Airport. Straight up just sounds like level song names. get right into it. These are old videos. This is Gundam Wing Endless Duel Airport. I need water, dude. My brain is like foggy right now. Cheers. Those MIDI electric guitars. It's like metal, but like still kind of, it's like pretty dancey. Like put this in a club and who's gonna tell that it's... Oh, when was this released? $1996. Oh, I think it only released in Japan. Super Famicom, 1996. Oh, this is a fighting game? Oh, what? I gotta read this. I skimmed the wiki really quick. I gotta read that. Okay, so this is what I'm saying, like... Maybe it is like Dragon Ball. The closest thing I can think of where it's just like the name and then it just branches into a bunch of different games. Dude. 1996? This was competing with the PlayStation already, right? When was the PlayStation? 95? This sounds good. I don't know when the SNES and the Super Famicom ceased production at the same time, or maybe they did different things. That changes the perspective a lot if this is a fighting game. It is a fighting game. I'm about to give you guys a deep cut that I think no one's gonna know what I'm talking about after this. Because this is now reminding me of that. And I never thought I would talk about that ever on this channel, but we're about to. So this is fighting game music, huh? Okay. I was thinking we're just like, you know. So this is an arena. Let's look at pictures of it. Oh, yeah, that's a fighting game for sure. Okay. It's coming together now. I'm really like biased towards fighting game music. I really like fighting game music. This is Namco, isn't it? Bandai. Did they merge yet? Because Tekken was already being made, so... I wonder if Bandai... How many fighting games Bandai has put out? I've always just known them as Bandai Namco, but I am aware they merged. I don't know when. Dude. There's a lot going on in this video. First of all, you know, sorry for the... I don't do research on these things. I just kind of like listen to it and then engross myself at the moment and then move on to the next video. But when it comes to Gundam, like I said, I've always been so curious. I've said the same stuff in my Armored Core videos. Like I'm just sort of like, okay, well, you know, I just associate them all together. But now it's starting to be slightly more clear. I went from 0% to like 1. So what I'm guessing is that, just a guess, that Gundam. Well, I don't know about Gundam Wing. Damn, I really don't know. But I'm just gonna, maybe Gundam is just a word, and it's just used a lot. I don't know. Either way, what I'm thinking it is like it's just a main series and just has a bunch of genre of different video games. So like maybe your side scrollers, your third persons, and now apparently fighting games, maybe even racing games or something. I don't know. That's what it feels like. I was just skimming the wiki to see the composer, and then I just kind of saw like, and then I saw the year, 1996, and I usually don't look up stuff, but lately I have been. So it says March 29th, 1996 for only the Super Famicom, which is Japan's version of the SNES, I hear. And it's like, was released in the, what was it, like the fighting game craze of the mid-90s, which, yeah, Mortal Kombat was taking over. They released like 4 games in that decade, maybe 5 if you want to get technical. And there's Street Fighter 2, what else, Tekken, 96, was there a Virtua Fighter? Did we already hit 3D at that moment? I don't remember. I was a kid, so. Either way, fighting games in the 90s were like peak, right? So of course anyone wants to get on that craze. So I can see that. So I'm going to now assume also that this is not the first game for Gundam Wing. Maybe this is just I don't know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So there's something else I saw here too. Oh yeah, speaking of Power Rangers, it uses the engine of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the Fighting Edition, which came before it. There's a lot of correlation with Power Rangers and Gundam. Is there any other correlation? Because Power Rangers, you're controlling a huge robot, right? From what I recall. Mind you, I haven't seen it since I was like 5 years old. But I'm going to talk about something before I get into the song. Something that I never thought I would ever talk about on this channel. It's such a deep cut. Like, I don't know anyone that's ever played it. I never hear it mentioned. And it's just something that I thought I would only experience myself. But I don't remember how I got it, but I did own a Sega Genesis. I don't remember if I rented it. I don't know how I obtained this game. But I don't think I owned it. But there was a game called, if you know this, shout out to you, but it was called Exo Squad. And I think that game was based off of a cartoon in the West. Pretty sure. Never seen it. Didn't really do too well. I don't think it very much took off. But that game I remember vividly because I was so young, and I remember that game, a lot of my thoughts that came from this video are stemmed from that game, because in that game it was like 3 games in one. I never experienced anything like that. You know, back in the Sega Genesis, I played very specific games like Mortal Kombat 1, 2, Shinobi 3 from what I remember, Sonic. So side scrollers and fighting games, really. This game, Exo Squad, you start off as a third person in the sky shooting stuff. And then after that, you're in a side scroller game. And then after that, guess what? You're in a fighting game. Yes, a fighting game. And I just remember being like so like, huh? Like, what is this? What is this game? And I remember the game freaking me out as a kid. The music is very scary in that game. I don't know how to explain it. It just is. It's very scary. And it's haunting and weird, and the dialogue music when everyone's talking is also scary. I mean, it's not like spooky. It was just like, it's uncomfortable. It's weird. And I remember being very difficult, and one of the hardest games I remember I was accomplished for beating at such a young age. Maybe the first game I ever like beat all the way through. Anyways, but when I found out this one was a fighting game, it reminded me of that, because in that one I was like, this shouldn't even be in here. Like, I felt like it felt so foreign that they threw it in there. I felt like that was also part of the craze. Like, people just threw in fighting stuff in there. Like, there's like a 1v1 kind of thing. But I never thought something would ever remind me of Exo Squad. And now that I think about it, I think those were kind of like mech style stuff too. So there's a lot of full circle moments happening in my head. If you've ever played that game, I'd be amazed, but I don't know anyone that's ever even heard of it. It's not that great of a game, to be honest. It's really clunky, but the music, I'm going to talk about it at some point in one of my VGM Vibes videos. Spoilers, but I don't know when. But it's interesting. Feel free to check it out. It's I don't know. Anyways, this game. Okay, so I think the music here is more reflecting of Gundam than I would say a fighting game. I don't know. I'm just assuming, but it didn't seem to me like. It feels to me like the composer already has made stuff for this series, and just went with what they know. Not that it doesn't sound like a fighting game, because there's no like sound really. It just sounds to me like very, I guess, Gundam. What I think of Gundam in my head, and then they just put those songs into like a fighting game. I could be wrong. Maybe they just totally fit the setting, but that was airport. I don't really get airport vibes from that. You know what I mean? Then again, what airport vibes are there? Tekken has an airport song, and that doesn't sound like an airport either. It's just, it's just a stage. But that's what's cool about fighting game music, is that sometimes it doesn't make sense at all. So I'm not like knocking it at all. But I like to think about those things. Like, I wonder what the inspiration was. Like, did they get inspired that they're going to make an airport song, or did they just make the song and then just slap it onto something? You know what I mean? Either way is cool. There's no right or wrong way. But it is interesting that this is a fighting game. And I'm guessing, just like how I shared a deep cut that no one's ever heard of, there's probably people that never even heard of this. Maybe. I mean, Gundam people know, but let me know if you've experienced this. If you've experienced this and Exo Squad, you're a certified like OG, because it just seems to me like these are two really scarce games, especially Famicom. And let me know if it ever released here. So I have a lot of questions. I'm sorry, I do not know, but I'd rather be honest with you than pretend I know what I'm talking about, because I don't know anything about Gundam. So Gundam fans, rejoice and go off. Also, I'm pretty sure I've never done Gundam on this channel, so let me know. Thank you, Darton. That was cool. Really cool. I love the dance. One more little thing. The dance, the mixture of like dance, pulsating, and the kind of metal stuff, that was really, really good. And a lot of it had very impressive technical rhythm stuff with very memorable slow leads. So it was like a really cool formula that just worked out. So I'm guessing the whole soundtrack sounds really similar, but yeah, that was really, really cool. Gundam Wing Endless Duel. Airport and spaceship. Thank you, Darton. Thank you to all my Patreons you see here. I couldn't be here without them. Thanks you for watching. See you in the comments. Peace.